You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension.
There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical.
Oh, great! It's Monsters, our favorite show.
It's starting.
Welcome to Tales from the TV. I am one of your hosts, Remy Militello, and with me, someone who maybe murdered their husband, Joe Thurston.
No, I absolutely killed that fucker. Hi.
And another man who may or may not be an escaped mental patient dressed as Santa, Rico Argenteri.
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
It's going good. I'm excited to be recording. It's excited that it's Christmas time. It's festive. It's shitty out, so it's perfect. Everything is just firing on all cylinders. Shouldn't snap into the microphone. But how has your holiday season been, guys?
Good so far. Boring, uneventful. Got everything out of the way finally last minute. So
Yeah.
I'm just settling in and waiting for the festivities to begin.
Yeah, I'm ready for Christmas to be over because of work, and then that's about it, though. But Merry Christmas to all of our listeners.
Merry
This is
Christmas.
the first Christmas special of this podcast.
The first of many, and have a solemn and dignified Tet and a great Kwanzaa and a happy Hanukkah. Am I forgetting any other ones?
Happy holidays.
Probably, but
Happy
there's so
holidays.
many we don't
There's
know about. So
there's quite a
whatever
few
you're
of them.
celebrating.
Yeah, whatever you're celebrating, if you're sacrificing to the goat god, give him a little bit of extra for us. He was extra good this year. But we're going to be discussing today one of the greatest episodes of Tales from the Crypt that ever was. And I think with that, let's start talking about All Through the House. So it's a very, very, very simple premise, really, and it's like a quintessential horror movie premise of woman. We start with a woman and her husband, who the husband is he fiddling with the TV? What is he trying to do? Start the fire?
Yeah, he's reading Christmas Carol and just being a surly bastard, and he needs the fire
Yeah, he's reading
stoked or hotter or whatever the fuck, and he's bitching at her about it.
And he asks if she can give him the poker, and she's like, "Are you sure you want it?" He's like, "Yeah, give me the poker.
Give it to me.
Give it to me." And then
Yeah,
she, of course, buries it into the back of his head.
That's so good because it has almost like a dream sequency way that it starts, and you
It
almost
does.
think she's gonna like snap to reality, and he's just gonna be standing there like yelling at her. But no, she actually does it.
No, she murders the hell out of him.
It's so good.
I like the intro to this too. With
Oh
the-
yeah, with the Crypt
the
Keeper.
Happy Holidays song or whatever it's called.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just a nice setup. It feels so 90s.
It
Like a
does.
90s Christmas movie or something.
Yeah, it's very
it really
Christmassy.
does. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And it's also noteworthy too because this is the first season. This came out in 1989, so it's got that classic 80s sort of aesthetic going on too, that much of early Tales from the Crypt has. But
What is this, like the second episode?
yeah, this is like the second episode of the series, which is crazy.
Highly regarded as one of the best episodes too.
As Rico would say, I was today years old when I found out that this was directed by Robert Zemeckis, which blew my mind. And for our listeners at home, just imagine the fact that he directed this 5 years before Forrest Gump. Just let that sink in, audience.
That's nuts.
And 4 years after Marty and Doc went into the future.
Yeah, this man, he's just all over the place, from traveling in time to killer Santas. He left his mark. Wonderful. The national treasure, that man. Um, but actually, they really don't fuck around at all. Like, I haven't watched this in a few years, and I remember there being like more sneaking around with the murderous Santa, but there really isn't. She runs into him almost immediately when she's trying to dispose of the body, which I thought was kind of delightful because it gets things started like immediately. Like you have your premise for this episode like off and running within like 5 minutes of this episode starting, and it's great, and you never really disappoints from here on out.
Yeah, I think a well is a very bad place to put a dead body.
Horrible.
They're gonna go looking from. That's the first place they're gonna look.
Well is a horrible place, especially because it's like 20 feet from your front door. You just have to look down it. Like,
You're gonna smell it.
Yeah.
someone's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
I love-
smoking a cigarette, and they're just gonna like drop it down there. And it's like, oh, there's Ted.
Yeah, I love before the killer shows up when she's trying to hide the body and she hears something, and she's outside just yelling, you know, who's there? Who's there? Like, you're trying to hide this body down a well, and you're just yelling for the whole neighborhood to hear you.
But there's also the scene with her daughter when right after she murders the husband, where she calls him Joseph, which I thought was great. And it's like, what's wrong with Joseph, Bob? And it's like, oh, she's just asleep like you should be.
Yeah, she goes, I don't think even Santa can wake up your stepfather.
Yeah, which is great.
And then they open her window because it's too hot in her room.
Which is very important for later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a nice moment when the little girl says that she saw Santa, because
It
if you
is.
don't know what's coming, you just think that's just a kid being a kid.
And then
And then when
Yeah.
you know what's happening, you're like, holy shit, she actually saw Santa.
she actually did see Santa.
He's been there the whole time.
And in classic horror movie fashion, we now know there's a killer on the loose because of a radio broadcast. And like, I wish to God that we ever actually got these in real life, like bulletin reports from the police about certain crimes happening. And it's like, but it happens in horror movies, especially from the 80s, all the time.
Yeah, and then she called her lover.
Yes.
It's a part. I love his message. It's like he meets Vic the party monster or something like that. Like, he sounds like a great guy.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah, doesn't he say like leave your name, number, and measurements?
He does. Yeah. Yep. Name, number, and measurements. Class acts.
And then
oh, you go.
so then we go back outside, right?
Yeah, then we go back outside to where she is trying to get her husband in the well. But while this is happening, did she grab the axe now or later? When did she do that?
No, he comes to life. You think he's dead. And
Yeah.
he pops back up and there's a struggle and she's reaching for the axe, but he eventually gives up.
That's what it was. Yes. And he just sort of dies. And then
Yeah,
she's
she
trying
doesn't get the axe until she's attacked.
Okay. And then after she's almost strangled to death by her now dead husband, she's going to put him in the well when who should appear but our mentally deranged Santa Claus, who just looks great. He looks like someone you would cross the street to avoid. For
He's
sure.
very creepy looking.
Very unhinged.
Very unhinged. Great teeth. And then he immediately tries to start murdering her, but she's able to get the axe, and they fight it out, and she cuts him pretty bad before running back into the house. And then she calls the police, and I love this. She realizes mid phone call that she can't have the police out here because she just fucking killed her husband. And then she just, the 911 just hangs up on her.
If if she was quicker on her toes, she could have thought about just
I know.
pinning it on the guy right away.
Immediately. Yeah.
Until because the first time I watched this, I was like, why didn't she just blame it on him?
Yeah, right.
Which
Yeah.
she does eventually. But
It just takes her a minute to
Yeah.
realize that. And it's great too when she does. He's like, "No, officer, I didn't kill my husband. Santa did it."
Yeah, and then don't they call her back? Or they
Yeah, the cops
because
call
they're
her to
sending
warn her.
Yeah.
because they're sending a cop around to go check everything out.
And then so there's like this Looney Tunes-esque sort of sequence with Santa and her after this phone call where Santa tries to break in and then ends up getting knocked out, which is where
With the axe, yeah.
yeah, which is where the knocked out with the head of the axe.
Mhm.
And then that's when she realizes that she can pin this on Santa. Where then she goes to then bury the axe head in her husband after missing comically like 3 times or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's just building more tension.
And then she finally is able to do that. And then doesn't she get locked outside at this point?
Not
Yeah,
yet. Is it
While
is it
she's
just
swinging the
now?
axe, every time she misses, you see the door bouncing
Yeah.
behind her.
Okay,
'cause
yeah.
She puts the
The
umbrella
umbrella thing, yeah.
stand in it, and every time she goes to swing it, the door's swinging in the wind. And then
She gets
eventually it
locked
just
out.
knocks the thing over.
And then she how does she, so I don't quite remember what happens here. So like Santa wakes back up, and then I remember there's a struggle between her and him trying to get up the trellis of the little girl's window, because the little girl is of course super duper excited that Santa's there.
Well,
And tells
this is when she's on the phone with the sheriff, and he tells her to he asks her if she has a weapon, and she goes for Joseph's gun,
oh, you're
Mhm.
right.
and
Yeah.
then she locks herself in the closet.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
when
yeah.
she sees him out the window, and he's
Ah.
climbing up, and the little girl's trying to get him to come up, and she's like, "Come on, Santa, you slowpoke."
You slowpoke. Come
love that
on,
part
you
was so
big
good.
silly.
She's just being such an excited little girl, and he's just all creepy climbing up the side of the house. Ugh.
At what point when you're a child do you realize Santa shouldn't have to climb the side of your house
Yeah,
to
with
get
an
in?
axe.
with an axe?
The majesty of children.
The majesty of children, and she never does get the gun, or
No, it's there. She just doesn't see it and can't
she doesn't
reach it.
see
so
it.
she
She
thinks
can't
it's
reach
not
it.
there.
But we, the audience, know it's there, so it's this
Yeah.
great bit of tension.
This is very tense, right? When she's locked in the closet and
Yeah.
she's just banging on the door.
It's very well done.
And there's a window in the closet too.
Yeah, so you can
That
see
shot's awesome.
it's really good. It's very, very well done. And then after that, she finally breaks through, and it looks like she's going to make it in time to stop her daughter from being a stupid kid. But unfortunately, the powers of stupid kiddom are just too powerful in horror, and we can't overcome it. And she gets out to see her little girl at the base of the stairs, and she's relieved. And then she says, "See, mommy, I told you Santa was here." And as we reveal that Santa was in fact standing right next to her. And then he puts his axe on his shoulder and goes, "Let's see who's naughty and who's been nice." And that's where we end the episode. When you say it out loud, it doesn't sound like very much happened, but like when you're going on the ride, it's great.
They drag it out and they build tension the whole time, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like equal parts like terrifying, but also silly
it's very silly
Mhm.
in such a
yes.
perfectly balanced way.
I
'Cause,
agree.
like the Santa, he's making such weird dumb guy noises the whole time. Like every time he gets hit, he's making like stupid like
Yeah,
Abbott and Costello noises.
yeah, it's very Abbott and Costello, Three Stooges, like
Yeah.
slapstick kind of comedy. And I think it works pretty well for the duration of because it's not that long, so it's like they're a half hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This
it's
was
like-
like 22 minutes, I think.
It's like the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
Do you think he kills the daughter?
No, I
I
don't.
don't think he does either.
No,
The Crypt Keeper says at the end, did he say something like, fortunately for her, he only likes older women?
oh yeah, he
Uh,
did.
I think
Yeah.
I think I either listened to a podcast about this or something that they had to add that because they didn't want them like killing kids on TV basically.
I buy that, especially because this is 1989, and I think even today they might have some issues
Too-
with that.
That's too dark for them. But yeah, very good episode.
They
It
can't
reminds
control
me-
our imagination.
Of like Revenge when they had to add on, and he got caught.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great episode, and I think one we can all highly recommend to our audience for
Absolutely.
their yearly viewing pleasure at the very least. But also, all right, before I do this, do we have any final thoughts on, oh, what are our ratings? What are our nonsense ratings on this?
Mm. I'll give it 4.5 Bob Zemeckis's.
I don't got a good one. I didn't think of it. I'll give
Uh,
it just one solid axe buried in
The back of a
someone's
man's
forehead.
skull.
I have
In
no
fact-
idea.
I'm gonna give it
Two thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. I'm gonna give it 6.5 axe wielding Santas out of 5. So I really liked it. And I thought it would be fun because it's the holiday season. Why don't we talk about some of our favorite on-brand Christmas movies? Because I think this episode would run short anyway, so why not?
Sounds good.
That's a good idea. I like that.
So I'll kick it off since it was me who sprung it on you. But one of my favorite all-time Christmas movies is Krampus, which if you haven't seen it, it's directed by the same guy who did Trick or Treat. It's not the same kind of anthology thing, but it's got a very similar vibe, and it's about Santa's evil shadow, Krampus. And this is all, well, the movie's not a documentary per se, but Krampus is a real fictional character. And it's great. Look up Krampusnacht and you will see a bunch of Scandinavian men dressed in sticks like Krampus. It's great. And they're half naked in the snow because, of course, what else would you do? But yeah, so Krampus is one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies.
Is Krampus considered a
Choice.
cryptid?
I think he's like a maybe.
Yeah.
He's a folklore creature, but so is like the urine and a bunch of other shit. So like maybe I think is the answer. Is Santa a cryptid? Now there is a question, and I think the
That is a
answer
good
is
question.
probably
That's a
yeah.
very good question.
I think that's the episode title for sure.
Joe, you got anything?
Well, I mean, other than like all of the obvious Christmas movies, I'd say to stick within the theme of the episode, one of my favorites in terms of Christmas horror is the original Black Christmas.
Ooh, that's a
Is
great one. Good
One of my
pick.
favorites, and just another simple story, actually similar to the one we just discussed. It's just a
It's
bunch
actually
of,
very similar.
a
Yeah.
bunch of sorority girls stuck in the sorority house over Christmas break, and there's a stranger stalking and killing them, and it's a bit dated, but
It's a little dated, but
fantastic.
it holds up pretty well. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as like slashers from the late 70s, early 80s go, it holds up great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that I would highly recommend. Very Ted
Don't
Bundy meets Home Alone.
there is a remake that don't watch the remake, watch the original one.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten around to watching the remake yet because I
Don't.
can't find it not for like $20. And
It's
I don't
also one of
expect to
those like
it.
of the era bad shot for shot remakes that it's like, why does this movie exist?
Which one are you talking about? Because there's two other ones.
There's two other ones?
There's one that recently came out.
Oh, I'm talking about the one from the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, that one sucks.
I didn't even know there was another one.
Yeah, there's one that recently came out, and it just seems like they took the movie and just kind of took it in a way different direction.
Did you know there's like 6 Silent Night, Deadly Night movies? As I was going through Shudder, I found this out. How the fuck are there so many?
I knew there was at least like 3.
One of them's about killer toys. What the fuck happens in that series? I'm definitely intrigued. If Caitlin wouldn't like tar and feather me for trying to watch those.
Speaking of Shudder, have you watched their Christmas Gulag yet?
Yeah,
They have something like that.
Yeah,
It's so
every year
good.
they do it for Halloween, and then they did a Christmas one this year.
it's great, man. I just left
Is it like a
on.
log that you just like
It's
the Yule
usually
log?
like a
It's a
jack-o'-lantern.
jack-o'-lantern.
Same concept, but a
Yeah.
jack-o'-lantern. And then like it's actually directed, so there's like different things that happen throughout.
Does it play Christmas music?
I don't know. I'd imagine it's got some sort of spooky.
There's music.
Christmas
I don't really
music.
remember because I just put it on when I was working, but it was fun.
Yeah, they do different ones every year for Halloween.
It's
Worth checking out.
the Gulag.
Yeah, I like I try to watch Twilight Zone Night of the Meek once a year during Christmas time.
That's a good one.
And this 2 Seinfeld Christmas episodes, obviously the Festivus one, but the Gum's my favorite one with Tim Watley. Great episode. And Black Mirror White Christmas is a
That
great
is a good one.
episode with the stud John Hamm.
John.
And
Always a pleasure.
I try to watch Bad Santa and maybe Sneaking Home Alone, but
I
definitely
love
watched Bad
Santa.
Santa once. Yeah,
Oh, it's so good.
it's the best.
It holds up super well. You would never be able to make that movie
Ah,
anymore. But it
John
holds up
Ritter
so
and
well.
Bernie Mac in it too.
Yeah, Bernie Mac kills it. Oh,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Wow, I didn't realize that movie was that old.
Yeah, man, it's like from
Yeah.
2003 because we're old.
Neither of those men are alive anymore.
No, 2 of my favorites too.
Yeah, it's a
And
shame.
I love Billy Bob Thornton too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's good.
I almost said R.I.P., but I'm like, no, he's not dead. Despite all odds, not dead.
Oh, I seen the new Spider-Man.
Oh, how was that?
Thursday. Very good, but I won't
Yeah,
spoil
no
anything
spoils. I
for
still need
anyone.
to see.
But it was awesome. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh yeah, I also want to give an honorable mention to Gremlins, which is a Christmas movie, despite what my wife says, and I hope she heard that.
It absolutely is a Christmas movie.
So here's the real question: is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I don't think I've ever seen Die Hard, honestly.
You've never seen Die Hard?
I don't. Maybe when I was a kid, but no, not recently.
I
my God.
don't
So I have
honestly
no.
care if
Okay,
it is or not.
so we got a didn't
Good
see
point.
it and a don't
Good point.
care.
I
And
do
think
hate the
that-
argument.
and I think that's the stance of this podcast.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll watch it this week.
Yeah, what Die
And
Hard's a
I'll
phenomenal
report
movie.
back for the
Yeah.
New Year's episode.
And I'm going to
I
say
know
yes,
you-
it is a Christmas movie. So we got all of the ends. We got all the ends of the spectrum. Do we have
So,
anything else? Do we?
I don't have trivia this week, but I have a game that we're gonna play
Yay!
for so I'm gonna go and share my screen, and I got a wheel of 10 classic Twilight Zone episodes. Can you guys see this?
I
Yeah.
can.
Okay, so I got 10 episodes on here. I'll go through the episodes. We got The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. We got The Living Doll. It's a Good Life. Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? Time Enough at Last. Eye of the Beholder. To Serve Man. Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. 5 Characters in Search of an Exit. I added that for you, Remy.
Thank you.
And Walking Distance, which is probably my first or second favorite episode next to Willoughby. I didn't put Willoughby on here because I'm saving that for a special guest if we ever get him on, my father. So we're gonna spin a wheel, and that's gonna be the episode that we watch this week for Twilight Zone, because what's New Year's without Twilight Zone?
Spin, 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 spin.
What do you
spin.
guys want to get picked?
I'm actually pretty cool with any of these because these all sound great.
That's a solid selection.
Yeah.
They're all really good.
I mean, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet's my favorite,
yeah.
but I'll also probably end up picking that at some point. So
Five
care
characters
whether or
is
not it
probably
gets
my
picked.
favorite, but again, I can pick that at some point as well. So I'm not.
Yeah.
Whatever, they're all good.
Yeah, inevitably we'll talk about all of these at some point. But
So I can't wait for the New Year's marathon also.
yeah.
So we're gonna kick off the New Year's marathon, and we're gonna watch. You guys see the wheel? All
Yes,
good,
sir.
ready to spin.
Let's do it.
Ooh, to serve
Ooh,
and
All right.
all right,
that's
good
a great
episode.
one.
Classic.
Very
So that's
good.
our next episode, To Serve Man.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, that's exciting.
We're going back to the Twilight Zone. It's the first repeat show.
It is.
Yeah.
But we made a pretty good round so far in terms of the show picks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And I
I'm
think
the-
To Serve Man is such a killer episode. that,
Oh,
like,
I can share sound too. That's good because I have plans for this for something. Remy, when's your birthday?
June 1st.
Okay.
I'll be 32nd years old.
Okay. Because I'll tell Joe about it, but I got a surprise.
Ooh.
So
excited.
we'll see you in June for your
See
surprise.
you in June.
I don't know how to stop sharing this. Okay, stop share. There it is. Yeah. So tomorrow, Joe's actually coming on the Video Game Randomizer podcast to talk about Fear 2 Project Origin.
I can't wait to hear you guys talk about those.
I have thoughts.
So I can't wait. This is it. We actually all beat it too.
Oh wow, is that a first?
I think we all beat Super Mario 64 too,
Okay.
but
It doesn't happen that often.
oh, and I finished like a week early too, so it was nice. No,
Yeah, you
I
finished
didn't
before I
stress out
did.
about it. Jeff, well, we'll get to this tomorrow. Jeff said he finished in 5 hours on
That seems
normal, and he found
fast.
all but 2 of the intels. Took me like at least
Wow.
12 hours.
If I were,
Yeah, I
when I
didn't
played
check
through
my
it,
time.
I think it took me 7 or 8.
It shows it on Steam, Joe.
Oh, let's see if I can
But,
find it.
Yeah, so so keep your eyes and ears open for a new video game randomizer tomorrow.
Ooh, and I'm almost done making my burger entries, which will be out hopefully pretty soon. The audio editing is pretty much done. Now I'm just adding music, sound effects, and video. So
What is
it's
that?
fine. It's called the Burger Entries. It's my favorite creepypasta of all time. And it's about food that's trying to eat us by making us eat food. I didn't do a great job explaining it right there, but it's delightful, and give it a listen when I finally put it up. And it's an hour long, so it's been
Nice.
some work to make this.
Awesome. Yeah,
But,
go listen to that, watch it,
Watch
subscribe.
it. Subscribe, like, do
Oh,
all the
also
things.
on Spotify, you can give ratings now. So if you're listening to us
yeah.
on Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating, and you know
Please.
the rest. Follow, comment.
Follow, comment.
Any concerns? Hey, do we want to read that one person's comment on a video?
Oh yeah, let me bring that up. Oh, I can't change my screen.
Yeah,
I got
but
it.
you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Let's see. There you are. Oh, we got 2 actually. Okay, so Soul Foodie said, Soul Foodie 1, glad you discussed Inside Number 9. Worth discussing more episodes like Cold Comfort, Simon Says, The Riddle of the Sphinx, Once Removed, Deadline, Halloween special. Although my favorite episode is Bernie Clifton's dressing room, and the most acclaimed episode is 12 Days of Christine. Thank you, Soul Foodie.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Thank you for
have
the comment.
Appreciate the
watched
input.
some of those. And then we got Jelly A. So happy to see you checking out Inside Number 9. It's a great show. I'm surprised this is the episode that we got all the comments on.
Yeah, people must be digging
For-
Inside Number 9.
Yeah, it is a good show.
Yeah, I can't wait to do more.
Let's see.
That and Creep Show. Oh, excuse me.
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
plenty of episodes just between those two to dig into.
I
I'm
know.
excited. To
Oh,
do
and we still
more.
have to do 50 States of Horror. Oh, there's so many. Maybe that'll be my next pick.
What's that?
It's another like anthology show where a bunch of like famous directors did stuff.
50 States of Horror?
Mhm.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Yeah, I
That's
still haven't
fun.
watched any of that.
There's one about
Yes.
a giant ball of twine. Spooky. It's spookier than it sounds.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. It was
Yeah,
a good
thank
episode.
Thank you for listening.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you for listening. We'll
Long
see you
live
see you
Tales from
next
the
week
TV.
for episode of Monk.
Yeah, next week we're doing Monk, and then after that we're doing an episode of Columbo, and then we're doing the Maury Show from 1995, September 21st. Catch it.
Actually, yeah. Hold on. Let me just see what you could go watch Twilight Zone on Hulu and Paramount Plus. Let's see what episode is Two Serve Man. Okay, so season 3, episode 24 is Two Serve Man. So if you want to go check that out and watch it before and enjoy it, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Happy
Be safe.
holidays.
Have
and
fun.
Long
Long
live
live Tales from the TV.
Tales from the TV. Goodbye.
Long live it.
Yeah.
Hmm.